I've just finished processing a roll of the old Svema Super 8 black and white. I've done a reversal process on it, and now it's just finished the second developing, and I've just rinsed it. And here's where we usually do the fixing. And I've always kind of glossed over the fixing stage because I've always been in a hurry, because we're near the ends now. Been in a hurry to get it done and so I can see it. But I thought I'd just document here what the film looks like before and after fixing. Now, as I said, this is black and white film gone through the reversal process in Caffenol. It's all looking a bit brown and not very reversed, but if you hold it up to the light, you can see, there we go, look, you can see there are frames there, there's a projectable image. So I'm going to compare how it looks now to how it looks after I've fixed it. I see also some little bits have come off in the water here, so maybe I better hurry up with this. So I'm going to fix it now for 5 minutes. Okay, so I put the fixer into the film. I didn't have enough to cover it, so I weighed it down with an empty jug with a couple of shampoo bottles in it, just to give it some weight. And as you can see, like Aesop's fable of the crow and the jug and the stones and the water, look it up. I think it's called The Crow in the Jug. I put one jug inside another jug to raise the fixer level to the point where it's covering all the film. So that's all the film fixing in there right now. Here's these little bits that were coming off the film before I fixed it. In the past I thought they were remjet, but actually I think it was the, there we go, I think it's the emulsion starting to come off. So, you know, I think the fixing does something to prevent that. I forgot to do the timer as well, so I'm going to have to best guess it. Usually I give it 5 minutes. Okay, I've just rinsed the film again, and I think we might be in a little bit of trouble because there's bits coming off. You can see them suspended there, and I'm looking at the film and they are definitely bits of the emulsion. Look at this. You can see bits there of the pictures just come off there. It's all peeling off, so it's going to be a bit of a race. Can I dry this off and scan it before the whole thing goes all boots on me? Because this might be 30-year-old emulsion coming off, or it might be something to do with the process that doesn't work. I may have made a misstep somewhere. Maybe I fixed it too long. Maybe I developed it too long. Maybe the second developing was just too taxing on it. Right, well, let's dry this out quick. Well, I don't claim to be an expert on all of this, and I don't have all the best equipment, but I make do with what I can, and I'm sure most of you out there are also making do with stuff without a Lomo tank and all the rest. But I really need to up my game when it comes to the drying out of the film, because at the moment sort of the best solution I've found is to kind of drape it all over this ladder and dangling down this ladder that comes up to the attic. And what you want to be careful of, most of all, when letting film dry, is not to have it stick to itself, because it could pull off the emulsion when it dries, and or at very least make a mark. So there comes a time when you're hanging it up when you've got to, you know, rearrange it so that it's not touching itself. And believe me, this looks chaotic, but this is after some very careful rearranging and maneuvering, and I couldn't even find the end of it for a long time. It's all hanging up there. This filthy ladder here, which is picking up a bit more dust, you know, and shit. But despite all of that, I'm happy to say that you can definitely see that it has worked. It's come out. There's an image. And probably the worst thing that happened to this image was me hanging it up just now. That probably degraded it more than anything else. And there are special film drying racks you can get, and these sort of drum-like things that you turn, and you just play the film onto it as you turn it, and it keeps all the strands separated and it can dry really nicely. But that's supposing that the film's not all tangled up in a ball to begin with. So if you're going to untangle the whole ball of film, that's going to be a hassle as well. And the only answer to that is to use a Lomo tank. If you commit to developing a roll of Super 8 as a sort of a big bundle in a tank, like I've been doing, look, these are stuck together here, that's not good. If you commit to that, then you are going to, there we go, you are going to end up with chaotic film at the end, because it will tangle itself up and it loves to stick to itself, and it twists and turns like a twisty turny thing. Uh-oh, what's going on down here? That's all right, yes, that's fine. So anyway, the proof will be in the pudding. I'm going to unravel it all when it's dry, which is a lot easier and it doesn't damage it so badly. Reel it up and project it. See what we got. Well, what we've got looks like it's been in a war zone. I knew some of the emulsion had come off, but I wasn't prepared for the high level of damage that the film sustained during the developing process. Now, I have found that doing full reversal does seem to put a lot more strain on a film, especially if it's as old as this one. I mean, think about it, this film was made in the Ukraine when it was part of the USSR in the late 80s. The expiry date was 1992, and then it sat around in a box for about 27 years. So it's really a miracle that anything came out. It's just, it can't really stand up very well to the punishment I subjected it to. And some sections didn't come out at all because the film stuck to itself and none of the developer got to it. I mean, basically it looks like you've filmed it with a mobile and got one of those apps and turned film damage up to 10. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being a completely bootsed film, this would be about a 7. That said, you can see what's going on, it's just got that very scratchy effect on it. I'm going to try my next roll negative only processing, which seems to result in a less scratched picture. As for the fixing, it didn't seem to degrade too much when it dried, and I was able to run it a couple of times through the projector, so I guess the fixing worked. In the future I might experiment with salt water as a fixer. Salt water and ammonia. So until next time, off you go, shoot some film, and happy fixing.